we are trying to address the challenge that also JC students face. The problem statement being that how are they going to apply the skills learned into continuously changing career environments. So for this, we will be focusing on 3 areas. So we'll first look into cohesive networks. This is to allow the students to navigate relevant career mentoring opportunities based on life stage, background, and needs. Then we will also look into resource accessibility. This is to enable students to take up career mentoring opportunities in Singapore. Lastly, we would look into increasing the relevance of intrapersonal, interpersonal, and career skill sets so that we can design mentoring programs that will enable youth to make better informed choices in their education and careers. So our entry point to reaching our key audience, the JC students, is to get the student to participate in a mentor-mentee interaction, as well as for us to expedite the training of mentors and students to actively participate and support such interactions. So our research from national sources and our networks show that students have little awareness of support for higher education and career development. And when we take a deeper look into our key audience, we realize that societal inequalities pervade even in educational institutions. Not all institutions have the resources to be more open and inclusive. Then for educational support, we have private companies like Praxium and community organizations like Cinder. However, the learning ecosystem is fragmented. So for us, right, like our specialization began with pairing Victoria JC students in 2020. We want to test assumptions of students' developmental and motivational foundations in Singapore. This is so that we can better guide mentors and mentees to grow with the learning ecosystem. This means that we also have to cultivate more integrative bonds between stakeholders in the ecosystem too. For that, we are aiming to better understand feedback from continuous mentor-mentee interactions. This is so that we can facilitate the way mentees can apply mentors' guide meaningfully into industry's commitments and character. So for our first pilot run, we have matched 5 computer science alumni mentors to 10 JC mentees. Then we want to analyze how to coach these mentors to coach better through comparison of feedback and outcomes from perspectives of mentors and mentees in interactions. The analysis will then guide us on how to prepare mentees for interaction optimization in mentor-mentee relationships. We are currently utilizing resources such as alumni and institutional connections, as well as an automated matching system for the pilot run. So the next developments in our pilot run will include a larger scale of mentors and mentees as well as subject scopes, and we're planning to run these developments in July. The collaborations with other initiatives we are planning seek to bridge race and socio-economic divides. For example, we plan to leverage on partnerships with Cinder for additional A-level assistance and Fei Yue Community Services, a family service organization for financial community aid schemes. This is so that we can more comprehensively balance out improvements for mentees. With what we seek to diversify coalesce, we will tap into what the other organizations can provide to improve the overall learning ecosystem. That's it.
All right, round of applause, please. Right, thank you so much, Joanna. I think it's very commendable that the rest of her members actually were told to isolate last minute. So actually she took up the mantle and she's multitasking on all different planes, you know, having to hold a clicker and a phone in all the different positions and hands. I think it's a very good. Can you give her another round of applause, please?
Thank you.
Right, so Joanna, thank you for your presentation. Can I push you over to that side for your Q&A session? And it's my understanding that Joanna also handled more of the business end, like of the presentation. Yeah, and her friends are more doing the IT side, to my knowledge. Yes, so maybe questions-wise from the judges could be more on the business side aspect of it. Thank you.
I think you should ask your friends to buy you some bubble tea. I think you've deserved it. Was a joke. Yeah. I have one question I'd like to ask. It wasn't too clear to me, but what's the critical problem that the team would like to solve? Is it identifying more mentors to help? Is it creating an optimal program that mentors can engage with JC students? Which is the one single problem that your team really are aiming to solve?
Because like we want to actually refine our system when it comes, because we settled the technology side, it's just a tool for us to like better facilitate mentor-mentee interactions in the hopes that the relationships between mentor and mentees like carry on in the future as well, and they carry on meaningfully. So we want to facilitate that part, which is the interactions that will later build on into the relationship. Yeah.
Maybe I'll go next. First of all, thanks very much for the presentation and a wonderful effort on your part for being here despite your teammates being all on health this morning. So my question is for continuation from Wombei's question actually. So how would success look like to you?
Because like our approach, right, we wanted to take a multi-pronged approach. Yes. We don't just want to like address like the mentors and then the mentees, but also because we recognize that we are just one entity in the ecosystem. Yes. So it would be better for the whole ecosystem actually to become better also. Okay. And we want to play a part in that also. Yeah, so that's like our solution.
So the formation of partnerships.
Yeah, so that we can, the end goal is to like, in the end, like make the mentor-mentee like interactions better continuously, so. Okay.
Thank you.
There are many mentoring programs out there. So what makes this different from the rest? Are you saying that, help me understand what makes you different from the rest?
Because like our roots, right, is in Victoria JC, and then it's more of like a peer alumni program. But we are, in a sense, like, I mean, mentoring is like, it's part of life. So like, in that sense, we feel that like, we sometimes like, our approach might be different, but we want to like also complement like the other stakeholders in the ecosystem. So we are looking to also like, we are also still continuing to source for like partnerships to better integrate like mentoring approaches to make them better. So like there is like previously, the previous group, right, they did internships. So that one is more on real life experiences, like giving like job shadowing, those kind of like experiential reflections that the mentees can have. We want to be able to cover like even more than that also, like, because sometimes like you have the experience, right? But you just don't know what to do with the experience, or you know what you want, but you don't know how to go ahead. And you don't know how to like collaborate with like the other entities that provide help also. You know, like everyone is just like lost in that sense. So we want to like be part of the help there. So like if we have to like readjust like our systems, we will also have to consider like how our current operations are, and then integrate it into the help that's requested by the students.
Okay, maybe just one last question from myself. I understand you mentioned that you all are from Victoria JC, and this started from like was that like a peer mentoring kind of initiative? Yeah, I just wanted to understand how you will like to scale this outside of Victoria JC. And also, another thing I wanted to ask was whether you would be checking in on the mentor and mentee. So like example, if anybody flags up that their pet mentor isn't too suitable for them, what are some steps that your team will be doing?
Yeah, those are very like relevant like concerns within like mentoring actually. So I'm sorry, can you repeat the parts again?
Yeah, the first one was how would you scale out of Victoria JC, and the second one was whether you would do something to help to step in if the mentee raises a question.
Thank you. So yeah, we have already like begun a pilot run, and then it's like other JCs also. But we chose to focus on one subject first because we really want to make sure that we don't want to like do like too many subjects at once, and then we have like no idea which areas to focus on. And then from there, then we can further distill like insights to better improve the core, which is like the mentor-mentee interactions. So, okay, the other part of the question is about
Yeah, in case there's like a mentor-mentee.
Oh yeah. Okay, so like we also want to, so the system that we had, right, also allows like mentors and mentees to like report back to us like sort of the progress on like for the mentors, for example, like what the mentees, what they've gone through with the mentees, and what are the plans that they have made with the mentees, and then what does the mentor like want to also introduce in the plans as well. Like maybe they're gonna bring the mentee to go on like a work event. For the mentees, it's more of like reflections on like how they think that the mentor is bringing them forth, and then whether do they feel that the mentors like really understand them well and have their best interests in that sense, because yeah, we have to find a good alignment when it comes to relationships also. So.
Okay, thank you.
All right, with that, thank you so much, Joanna. Thank you, Ascademy. Thank you to judges as well. Round of applause for her.